All right, we're going live. Hello, everyone. My name is James Hull. I'm here with Canada HomeShare. Today, I am with Caitlin Olson. She is our pilot site coordinator for our Peel district. I'm also here with our national manager, Jackie Tanner. Welcome.
Thanks, James.
Thanks,
Thanks.
James.
So we keep this pretty casual. So I think the first thing, it's just going to be Jackie. Let's just ask you, can you give us a quick breakdown of what is Canada HomeShare?
Sure. So Canada HomeShare is a social work facilitated shared model of housing. So we started back in 2018 as Toronto HomeShare. So a small municipal pilot. We then became a fully funded program. And now we started our national expansion in January of 2021. So we'll be piloting our shared model in cities across Canada in the next year or so. So basically, we take older adult home providers who have a spare room in their house and could use some extra income and assistance around the home, and we match them with post-secondary students who are looking for affordable housing close to campus.
So that's where Caitlin, you came in. You joined us at our Peel site. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about your area, because you have a neat kind of zone, because you have both rural and, well, Mississauga, is it not the third largest city in Canada?
Metropolis.
Absolutely.
Yes, so I am a registered social worker. I joined the Canada HomeShare team in 2021 as the Peel pilot project was taking off. So we are now live in Peel, accepting applications. As you said, James, is a unique site, very diverse, a lot of international students, which is amazing. And just focusing on outreach right now at the Peel site, getting the word out about our program. And yeah, just facilitating interviews with applications once they come in.
See, that's so neat, because it's not just like home sharing, it's also culture sharing. So I know, Jackie, you've had some people who have home providers who have actually asked for people from different parts of the world so they could learn.
Yeah, so at HomeShare, we get a diverse populations of home providers and students. And some people are looking for that new experience. A lot of homestay hosts that are sort of getting older, they don't want to have to be responsible for a student, but they did love experiencing all those new cultures during their homestay years as hosts. Canada HomeShare allows them to give a room to a student and have that intergenerational relationship while having the student sort of help them out around the home as a change.
Yeah, that's really neat. So we're going to take some questions from LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and also email. So our first question from email is to Jackie. How do you decide who lives with who?
Well, that's a good one. The social work team, pilot site coordinators and the coordinators in Toronto, like Caitlin, they take their pool of home providers, their pool of students. So everybody fills out an online application. That's the first step. After the online application, there's an interview where Caitlin or a site coordinator would get to know the applicants a little bit better. And then once that pool of students and that pool of home providers is established, the social workers start looking at, well, who might go well with who. And a lot of it is, I don't know, Caitlin, just that gut feeling. I keep saying it. I wish I could quantify it, but we look at things like preferences. Location is a big one. And the tasks that the home provider is looking to have done, the things that the student is looking to do. Yeah.
But it's not just location.
No.
It's not just proximity.
No,
it's more than that.
Yeah, and at HomeShare, we'd rather make no matches than make bad matches. So we really focus on those rich relationships that are going to develop. And probably, in my experience on my caseload in Toronto, I'm a social worker in Toronto, they last a long time after the match maybe not living together, but those connections seem to last afterwards. So I also, I just want to add, in the application, it gives an opportunity to really say what you're looking to get out of the relationship, not just maybe the extra income, but what you're really looking to get out of it. So I've had people with similar things that they wanted to learn match with each other. So they wanted to learn, I had a pair that wanted to learn how to paint. They were learning how to paint online together during COVID, learning to cook, learning about new hobbies together. So that's part of it as well.
And we have had some matches that have a shared program. So an older adult who had a career in a certain area, took a certain program in post-secondary, living with a student who's taking the same type of program. So matching interests that way as well, which is exciting.
See, I was just going to ask that because like that's such a great partnership where the person from the like experienced generation can get up to date on like the cutting edge of what's being taught, but then you also get to talk about the like the years, the things that are often unsaid when you perform or practice a profession for years.
Absolutely. It's just one of the unique advantages of the home sharing program is that exchange of information, whether it's related to a profession or cultural nuances for a newcomer to the country, or just a different perspective in general.
Yeah. So Caitlin, my next question for you, how old do you have to be a home provider?
Yes, so home providers have to be 55 and over, and students have to be 18 and over to apply for Canada HomeShare.
Excellent. So Jackie, what are some things that the students do for the home provider?
Yeah, so every match is different. So it can be anything, the obvious things, light household chores, maybe help with the snow maintenance, help with the yard, bringing in the patio furniture, moving furniture, meal prep, sharing a meal together are the more obvious things. But some of the lesser obvious things are the more interesting ones. So I have a student, and all she does is open jars and containers for her home provider who's got rheumatoid arthritis in her hands, was having trouble, and that arthritis was becoming a barrier to her having the things that she liked. She didn't have to, she used to say she'd get, when she had a friend over, she'd get her friend to open all of her jars and containers for her. But now she's got her student who she can do that anytime. So she gets to have those things that she likes. Walking a pet. I think the advice I would give to home providers, if you're thinking of applying, is to keep a piece of paper, a pad of paper on the kitchen counter and write down all the things that you might like to have help with. If you catch yourself saying, well, I can't change that light bulb because I don't want to get up on the ladder, or the smoke alarm batteries, or just little things. I think it surprises a lot of my home providers when they get that list together and they didn't realize how those little things do pile up, and how a little bit of help with those things can really make aging in place easier and more pleasant.
Yeah, that's interesting. And it's just like there's no standard list as well.
In the application, there's a list to choose from, but that's just the sort of, from our research that we did while we were planning the pilot, those were the things that were kind of flagged to us. But really a home share match and the tasks in it and the relationship can really be anything that works for that pair.
So Caitlin, excuse me. If I'm an international student, could I still apply?
So the short answer is yes, absolutely. The more detailed answer is that all applicants of the Canada HomeShare program are required to complete a vulnerable sector police background check. And to be eligible to apply for this VSS, you must have a current address in Canada. So as long as the international student has a current address in Canada and is able to obtain that VSS police background check, then absolutely are able to apply to the program.
Oh, excellent. Because that's often a question we do get asked. Yeah.
We get it a lot, especially as I mentioned in the Peel community that has a lot of international students. And yeah, so that is it's a very common question for sure.
Yeah. So, Caitlin, I am going to come back to you with another question right now. Do you have to own your own home to apply for Canada Home Share as a home provider?
No, as a home provider, you can own your home or you can rent. You just need to have a spare bedroom in your home for the student to be able to be eligible for the program.
Okay. So Jackie, safety, big issue always. What do you do to make sure this program is safe?
Yeah, I think that a lot of people have trepidations about maybe applying because of safety. So what we do to make sure that the program is safe is all the pilot site coordinators are social workers and social service workers who do a screening interview with every applicant following the application. They also check 2 personal references for every applicant. Everybody needs to have that clear vulnerable sector screening, as Caitlin mentioned. There is an after hours on-call support line for all matched participants between the hours of 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's me at the other end of that line. If anything comes up, I will say it's not a used line, but we are there if anything were to come up. All of the home share agreements have a COVID safety protocol woven into them. That's tailor-made for each individual match, as well as emergency contacts are provided to the match. So if there was any concerns while a pair were living together, they would have that information. And then every match is case managed by the site coordinator or the social worker who made that match for the duration. So a monthly check-in, make sure everything is okay, tasks are done, rent is paid, that sort of thing. And the team is here if anything comes up, but as of yet, it has not.
Good. So, final question. Jackie, if someone who is on the fence with the program, they're not quite sure if they should apply, what should they do? How do they get more information?
Yeah. So our website is a great source of information. We've got an online virtual information session up where you can kind of watch it and it walks you through what it would look like if you were to apply. All of the sites that are live right now, which is Toronto, Kingston, Peel Region, and Metro Vancouver, have a site-specific email address. So that allows you to contact the site coordinator to ask questions. Also, the info@Canada HomeShare email address is for sites that are outside of that. So if you had questions but you didn't live in a HomeShare city, you could email that. I think my advice, if somebody's on the fence, not quite sure, is to really look at what you could gain from it. I know it's a different way of living. Inviting someone into your home can be like a bit of a scary thing, especially the thought of living with a stranger. But if we've done our job right, it won't feel like living with a stranger. By the time that student moves in, you'll know them quite well and your social worker. So I think that's important to keep in mind. I would say making a list is always good, what you're willing to do as a student and what you'd like to have the student relationship look like for the home provider can also help. But yeah, I think reach out to that social worker, check out the website. There are some media stories, which I find helpful for allowing home providers to understand, and students as well, how a home share match might look. It's one thing if I say it, but it's another thing to see it on the news. It shows it kind of a little bit of a few matches, I believe, on the website. We've got that.
Yeah, like it's neat to hear the stories. It's neat to see how everything is so customized. And the recent story, it was in Toronto Life. That was a really good profile. It was really neat to see.
Yeah, and they really do capture a lot of our matches. It's not just that one that is so great. A lot of them do have such great stories and have formed such amazing relationships. I think that the fear is hard to overcome because it's a different way of living, and going into a different way of living with maybe an open mind, also knowing that home share agreements are about 8 months long. So You don't have to make this decision for the rest of your life. It's just an exploring a new way to live in a short-term kind of way with all of the support of us behind you while you do it.
Yeah. Well, Caitlin, well, Jackie, we are out of questions. Is there any final thoughts? Okay. If you want more information, www.canadahomeshare.com. If you have any questions, again, info@canadahomeshare.com. Or if you're in one of our HomeShare cities, just the city name at canadahomeshare.com. I really want to thank you for joining us. We hope to see you soon.
Bye.
Thanks, James.